and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick here to review Anything Happened on Last Night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Friday Night SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's NXT. It's been a while since you've been in this world. What did you make of it?
No, it's been a while. I admitted on the preview yesterday that I hadn't been watching NXT while I was off.
Why would you?
Well, are you prepared to confirm for me now that it's been this good?
Yes, obviously.
This was a tremendous episode. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Welcome home.
Bit of bollocks that I really enjoyed, and two matches that I earnestly liked a lot. So yeah, good 2 hours.
I will say this. There were two things on this show that were earnestly very good to great.
Ooh.
However, one of these things had to acknowledge NXT being bad, brackets general, for it to resonate.
Okay. Intrigued to find out what those are. And I will say, we've had a bit of a discussion, and cooler heads have prevailed, and any bans that may have existed on this podcast are, from here on out, lifted. I feel like, we should hear people out, hear what they've got to say, and, this isn't just the three of us and Nicholas. This is a 5-man podcast at the end of the day. So hopefully we may get an appearance later on from someone whose name, let's be honest, has been mud.
Yep.
Since Standing Delivery. But let's get into this episode of NXT because it started with Joe Hendry, Hank, and Tank taking on Dark State.
3 matches I liked. Forgot about this.
It's good fun, this.
Yeah.
Dark State here, represented by Dion Lennox, Osiris Griffin, and Cutler James. Saquon Sugars was...
Did Hulk Hogan name him? Should it's James Cutler.
Good stuff.
It's all good stuff.
So Henry does his big entrance. He even does the pose with Hank and Tank. Huge gap in the Wilbourn household, obviously, for that. But Dark State jumped them to start the match, and Lennox spine busters Tank.
It's your favourite wrestling Max of all time, Hamflett?
Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
My favourite wrestling match, because he said match.
Sorry. Best Max ever.
Yeah.
All episodes available.
Yeah. The second series.
Yeah, sometime soon. We haven't filmed one yet, but it'll be exciting. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be good. I've got a pitch for it. Slightly unusual.
Ooh.
Remind me.
Okay. Joe comes in, hits a delayed suplex, and then hits a series of fall-away slams with kip-ups to each of the members of Dark State. Well, except for when he's picking someone up and realizes, wait a second, I'm a Dark State. It's bloody Hank, isn't it?
Mm.
I like that.
Yeah.
They do the pose, go to break. The heels take over during the break, and they're working Hank over as we come back. He's desperate to try and get over to his corner. Eventually, he does get over to Tank, who comes in and runs wild. I love Tank's hot tag. Everyone gets involved. All 6 of them are in there. Sugars interferes at ringside. He posts Hank, who's taken out of the match. Joe Hendry's signaling for his standing ovation finisher when Trick Williams runs down and takes Hendry out of the match, which leaves, of course, Tank all alone against Dark State, and the triple powerbomb allows Cutler James to get the 1-2-3. Dark State pin the tag team champions. Who could have seen this coming, Sidge? You said yesterday, yeah.
Exactly, as we called it. Yeah, I like the Trick Williams tease that he might still be involved. Early signs, in spite of the gimmick being closer to Retribution.
No.
Hang on. Retribution than, what would be a more credible version of what they're going for? Like the Shield?
Week 2 of Nexus, the Shield.
Yeah,
the Shield.
In ring, there is thought being applied here. This was on paper quite a basic multi-man that Dark State go over because it's storyline advancement.
Yeah.
There's a bit of stuff with Trick and Joe that would pay off later on. There's teasers in general with Trick Williams' involvement with Dark State, and they're trying to get this stable over as the most dangerous group in NXT. They don't feel dangerous, and they don't feel scary.
Or credible.
That's where I disagree slightly. There was a lot of, there's more of us than them, let's cheat. I know that sounds basic.
We share a common goal.
everything was very focused on keeping the numbers advantage, keeping like the best ever example. Now said the Shield. I'm thinking about that Shield debut.
There's like not a moment in that match, is there, where
it's 2-on-1 the whole time.
Yeah, it's
a
great.
3-on-3 and it's always a 2-on-1. It's incredible. It's so well agented. This wasn't that, but it was a sort of an attempt at that. Like there was constant stuff being done while either the referee was distracted or a diversionary tactic. Because there's a long way to go, and the fact that all of these are at a sort of relatively, I don't want to say inexperienced. That's really patronising, but like they seem early on in their own sort of wrestling careers to be having to handle both their own runs and this overarching story thing. I was sort of quietly impressed with a little bit of the detail added to this. It just saved it from being your standard fair heels and babyface 6-man. Like this, I thought this gave me
a bit
hope.
of levity with Hank Tank and Joe.
Like they were good. Like all their stuff was nice, but this was as a match more in service of Dark State. And I think there's like a long way to go, and they're still sillier than they are credible. But I don't know. I thought this was this. If you take this and the Stand and Deliver match against the Family, they are thinking a lot about the agent of these matches to try and, in the interest of preserving this gimmick and getting it over, which is all you can really ask for.
Yeah, no, I'll never, ever, ever take them seriously as long as I live. They're all pretty dire in the ring. Yeah, those are my thoughts. However, a little bit of fun at the start of this match. I actually smiled.
Yes.
During an NXT broadcast, which very, very, very rarely happens, let me tell you. I also liked how wrestling sucks, episodic, medium, flawed, etc. Well, you've just proved your dominion over the competition in your division. You're now a champion, the best of the best, one might say. Time for you to lose, to set up some matches. Always happens, every promotion, at some point or another. Wrestling kind of sucks, everyone knows that. If you're going to do it when it's 3-on-2, and you've overlapped with the Hendry Trick Williams stuff, and Hendry and Hank and Tank I can buy as like just kind of fun-loving guys who are like, there's more power there than meets the eye, but they'll have a little bit of fun with it. Decent bit of economic TV book in this.
Hank and Tank feel like transitional champions, don't they? They're going to go with Dark State here, and
I hope not.
They're the baby faces they've picked in order to strap up Dark State as like kind of dominant from the off. A belt's going to have to make the men a little bit, but I think that feels
They're
like...
not going to make themselves. They're not very good.
Not great. Finisher's still looking good, though.
Yes.
Has done from the
I
start.
like Sugars a lot as well. I want to see more from him.
There's not potential scattered there, but
Very raw.
Yeah, very,
Very
raw.
raw.
Yeah.
Well, any smile that was on Sidgwick's face was soon wiped off by the news that...
Green State.
What?
Green State.
I don't get
it's
it.
the green.
Yeah.
Carmen Petrovich reveals to Thea Hale she is Adoniously done with Ashanti.
I couldn't care f***ing less.
Thea says it's not about being selfish, it's about being strong. In walks Jada Parker, says, you don't know anything about being strong, you're a chihuahua. And Carmen, you're swift. Carmen says, you're running your mouth a lot for someone who choked at Stand and Deliver.
Like coughed.
Wasn't
it?
Coughed in there.
Yeah, I was wondering what she was getting at, really, with that.
So she says, I'll see you out there. Match set up for later.
Yeah.
She is a grown-ass woman. The theme says so.
We see people warming up for this 25-man battle royal. People from LFG, Timothy Thatcher, Sean Legacy from Evolve. Excited for later on in the night. And as I should mention, the Ren QCC. And Charlie Dempsey says tonight's a major opportunity for all of us. Not about grudges of glory, about getting one step closer to Obafemi and taking title.
That's what he said.
See the great tweet of the weekend. Last night that said, the team graphic for the Champions League. It says when you ask your Yorkshire mate where he is, and it says Int Bar.
It's good. It's good stuff.
And then we got Kalani Jordan versus Zarya, North American champion Sol Ruka at ringside. They go through commercial break, picture in picture. Jordan is fighting from underneath against Zarya, power that she's got, obviously. She makes a comeback, though, hits a tornado DDT, goes up to the top rope, jumps up there like she's Rob Van Dam or something, goes for a 450. No one there, but she rolls through the 450. Zarya nails her with a spear. Jordan comes back with an Asai moonsault. And they fight to the outside. Zarya shoves Kalani Jordan towards the barricade, but there's Sol Ruka to sort of catch her. And, oh, God, a bit awkward. And Zarya, get this, spears her through, picture this, through the barricades. Ruka can't believe this. She's not the only one. Zarya sends Jordan back in, hits her with the F5, and gets the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, the Zarya Sol Ruka split is coming. Obviously, she's going to be, if not the first challenger, like the major challenger to Sol Ruka as the North American champion. It's all right. I didn't love this. I don't.
More sort of rollerblading and ice cream for you.
Well, yeah, oddly. I don't.
Told you.
No, I'm not saying one thing makes another right.
Yeah,
The thing with the skits was that, yes, they were dumb, but I also think Zarya, like the Mad Max monster living amongst humans, is also dumb. And I was like...
You see that as well?
Yeah, there's a little
green guy in here.
Green guy in here.
I guess
little flying insect of sorts.
I guess I'm saying that lesser of two dumbs. I think I prefer the ice cream and skateboarding. I've just had a flashback to that pandemic episode where you saw them two flies shagging on your window, and it was...
Yeah.
A shoot.
It was a shoot shag.
I saw some bees/wasps over the weekend looking like they were getting ready for it. I kept an eye on it just in case.
Small play.
I don't know what was going on, but one was offering it up, I think, and it was just
buzzing.
like... Yeah.
Is bees shagging how the world survives?
Sorry? Well, I know bees are very important, aren't they? For the whole
Incredibly
ecosystem.
important. The bees go, then
It's
it's
the
like
bees stop screwing.
it's like it's like the bees are the last Jenga block of the world.
Yeah. So I don't know about that.
Should have played some music. And
I should have, yeah.
Like,
I was mowing the lawn. It's probably a bit of a mood killer, to be honest. But I don't know. Keep an eye out on it. Thoughts on Zarya Kalani Jordan Sidge?
So let's deal with match first, then post-match later.
And then bees, obviously.
Yeah. Match was the usual synthetic nothing that evaporates in front of your eyes.
Love it.
Seconds after you watch it. Look, if you love it so, like, love's a strong word. If you love it, like, you're just kind of
set it free.
obsessed with it, and you know you're poring over the details, and it's made such an impression on you. Next week, actually, tomorrow, I will ask you to like do a recap or like favorite spots of the match or what you loved about
Through the
it.
barricade. I've never seen that before.
Okay, so the match was the usual synthetic nothing, and I'll forget about it. In fact, if you hadn't have ran through it just then, I would have forgotten already. The faces during this. The faces during this finish were diabolical.
That were diabolical.
So Zarya puts
Kalani Jordan
through the barricade.
Sol Ruka could not believe what she was seeing.
Sol Ruka, like, oh my, it's like they deliberately train these wrestlers to be terrible or overacting. Like the contempt they have for the audience, where it's like, you really got to sell it to them. They're stupid, they're dumb, they're stupid morons. Like, be broad, make sure they get it. Like, they are, even in the training of the WWE wrestler, it's all rooted in total and utter contempt for the intelligence of the fans. And the self-owner is actually, you look stupid because look at your dumb expressions. Like, they haven't got a chance of getting over with me when they are told to act like that. And Zarya's face was like, as if to say, like, I don't care.
Yeah, like,
I'm tough.
Too much for me. That.
Tough and heartless. Jesus Christ.
There's sort of dynamic between the two of them. Sol's so shocked. And
They are the face.
he's going to strike me there.
The faces and the sounds are just, it's in a
Zarya is very much
sounds. The faces and the sounds.
We're going to update this, by the way. We talked about this in the podcast recently because we were going through what we've got on
I'll
there.
tell him this in a second, the story of this.
Yeah. So there was...
Sounds.
Down with the Sidgwick.
Like an horrific sensory experience. Quick recap of that story. So there was one button where we're like, we haven't used that. Maybe we should knock that off the soundboard. And then Wilbourn, I can't remember what button we pushed, but we pushed a button and went, it's kind of irrelevant these days. We won't actually keep that on the soundboard. And then Wilbourn went through various buttons on various pages, going through each button, going, we'll get rid of some of these. And guess what? Every button he pressed, he popped for. Tim Titus loves all the buttons.
It was a bit of like a nice bit of a walk down memory lane, except for one button that I'm going to press now.
Your favourite lane to walk down.
What would that be?
You know what it is.
What?
Mammary lane.
Nice. The one button I think we can all agree needs to go is, and I'm sorry to play this again, Sidge, I'm not going to play the whole thing, I promise, is this one.
Attitude. Attitude. You take a...
Right, I don't know if we're going to get taken off
Some
YouTube.
old quizzes.
No one cares about this. He has to listen to it like I did.
Picture it.
Attitude. Attitude. You take a poundful of pain and a touch of disdain, then throw in some taker and cane.
Oh, brutal. Brutal.
Did you ever buy any, what was it, WWF aftershave?
It's like cologne.
Cologne,
Yeah, I did not. Because it
That's
wasn't
the one
available.
thing
'Cause
is
it
where he
wasn't
draws the
available.
line.
Wasn't available in the UK.
Oh, wasn't it?
No.
Any US fans, feel free to post it over. You'll pay postage, don't worry about it.
No, it won't. Don't still produce it, bro.
Huh?
Was there a nitro cologne as well?
Yeah. They were just flogging out, weren't they?
Yeah.
Just slap the logo on anything.
Out. There you go.
Steve Austin Johnny's or something. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
those Steve Austin Johnny's, yeah.
Found it. Oh, I can't find the price. Genuine and rare.
Johnny's Gargano. They should have made them at the time when he had that big. He got Dexter.
Yeah. No, he wanted to take them away from Dexter.
Oh, that was, it's don't have sex with her 100 times.
Yeah. In fact, she's my property, so I'll wrestle for her.
I've got Thunderbird Eau de Toilette, if that does anything for you.
What number Thunderbirds on the bottle?
It's a car. It's the car. The Thunderbird car.
Bottle of
What about
Thunderbird
Hulk
in your
Hogan
prime.
Mini soap and WWF Dunkin' bubble gum.
I'm interested.
62 quid.
Dunkin' Bubblegum.
Yeah. That's what we're looking at there. There's his mini soap. And then some bubble gum that's probably quite out of date.
When it was like, you get that as a kid, bubblegum with cards, where it was just like, you could snap it. It's like it had been starched.
Yeah.
It tasted nice for 6 seconds.
That was the stuff.
And then it was nothing, but you had cards and stickers afterwards.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Right? 25 quid delivery, so 87 quid all in.
Lots of treasured memories.
Look at that.
Was that Hogan there?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at him.
Is that Warrior bubblegum?
Warrior gum.
Let's have a look at Hogan there. Looks like that MGF tan.
Following this, we're in the locker room with Tony D himself. And he's on the phone. And he says, oh, if you hear something, let me know. And in walks Wesley, Tyson, Tyreek. And Wes is like, hey, here he is, the Dawn of NXT. And I'm like, you don't mean that, you bastard. How's the family? Tony says, oh, that's real good, Wes. You're a funny guy. Somebody knows something about stabbing a brother in the back. It's you, right? Because what Stax did to me, you did to Zach Wentz.
Oh,
I get it.
Like
You're in
Jimmy
my
Uso's
way.
brother, Jey Uso.
You're in my way. In my way in life.
Wes says he'd do it again, and he thinks Stax would do the same. And then he says, something different about you, though, Tony. And he sniffs the air, and he says, you're lacking confidence. That's why you're not in the Battle Royal. And I was like, it's a good point, Wes. He really should be in the Battle Royal, because he's kind of got Obafemi's number.
Timothy Thatcher ever beat.
Tony says, oh! Wes, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You got all this talent, still got no instincts. You want to be a tough guy, huh? Go ahead and take a shot. And Wes says, I would, but I got a Battle Royal to win. See ya! Said it like a funny way.
Yeah.
Bought me.
Did say it in a funny way.
He did, yeah, he did.
Thoughts on this, and I will mention this here because I may forget to mention it later. The bit where Wesley was on the phone to somebody, no idea who it could possibly be, but he laughed and said, "Everybody's got a price." Who could that be, and what could we take from all this?
It's Ted DiBiase again.
It's always bloody him. 4 times in NXT now. What are you doing back here?
He could he be, because they set up a match here for next week, paying Stacks to help him win.
Possibly, yeah.
Stacks is a mercenary for hire now.
He's
setting up his own shop,
following his own rules and that.
He's doing it alone.
Yeah, I just felt this whole thing made me feel a bit sad.
Yeah,
truthfully, where both these characters are at the moment. Difficult times.
Ambivalent.
Actually, that reminds me.
What?
When we were in Las Vegas, got a very kind gift from somebody that I want to show off, but I've left it downstairs on my desk.
Do it on the AEW pod tomorrow.
Definitely not. So I will.
You dick head. Why don't you just do it on next week's NXT?
No, I don't want to miss out. First time we've done this, so I'll go and get him, and then
could have done it before he was here.
Yeah, I forgot. I'll get it. I'll be back, and you talk about. I mean, you'll have lots to talk about, obviously. Don't talk about anything past this on the show.
Okay.
Just specifically talk about how much.
I can't remember. I wouldn't remember in a million years what was next.
Talk more about Tony D.
I was going to say, what was your feeling, Sidge, watching the Stand and Deliver match with the family and Tony D?
Didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
No, I catch up. I thought it happened, but it didn't happen.
Right.
So
it wasn't a bad show in Stand and Deliver. It wasn't. It was. I saw it. It was overpraised.
Oh, this happens a lot.
It was overpraised.
This is how everything's the best. I need to get your thoughts on this. What are your overarching thoughts on the Heyman Rollins breaker group? I'm telling you now, I need it for work, and quite frankly, sometimes I like the likes. I kind of need to get off Twitter, bro. Like this, when they go Dangerous Alliance, it's instantly received as like it's going to be the best stable ever.
It was just cool. Nice twist and nice obvious vehicle for Braun and
the way people got on.
Oh yeah, like the
just in general, it's driving me nuts.
You feel like you're reaching a saturation point with those extreme takes.
It drives me nuts. Gets my tennis elbow agitated.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
that's
how's it going? Hey, I smell smoke. You two been thinking too hard again, huh? How's it going?
Oh.
Hey, I'm all right.
Hey, good to see you both again. Hey, you Hamflett. If anybody ever had a face for podcasts, am I right? Huh?
I mean, it's filmed like.
Well, Hamflett, supposedly if you know so much, how come you never know when to shut up? Where's Willie at? Where's that dickhead at?
Oh, Jesus, Stacks. Someone got him a present that he wanted to show off on the podcast. I assume it has some relevance towards NXT, so he's nipped downstairs to get it.
Coward, look at me, I'm a menace, huh? The only way that guy will ever get laid is if he crawls up a chicken's ass and wait, huh? What do you think about that?
It's good.
You know what?
It's a good one.
You're all right. I like you. These the other two. I like Sidgwick. I think about him often. On trash day, that is. He's a trash individual over here. Huh? Hey, you want a joke? Oh, come on, Staxy. Come on, tell 3 jokes, 3 questions, 3 jokes, huh? I got a joke for you. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I eat mop.
I eat mob who?
You eat your boo? Oh, you got 2 guys who eat shit over here. See you later, guys.
Yeah. You hit me really hard in the head. I think even Stacks, after the fact, might reflect on that and go, I am too hard. And like,
It's a good job Wilbourn's not here.
He
Because
hates that.
getting hit on the back of the
Like,
head.
he hates that.
That's good heel work.
It
from
is.
Stacks.
To
That
be
is
fair,
good.
Stacks, Stacks knew of the law.
That is good
Must
heel
have
work.
got us
that.
mistaken. Yeah.
That was a bit of a tour de force.
What, has he left the room yet? Oh, I can't.
Yeah. Well, not. Bye.
Bye, Stacks.
Bloody hell, what's happening here?
Well, Stacks has almost broke the air.
Jesus.
the radiator gimmick there.
He didn't swear anything or do anything inappropriate, did he? Like hit people on the back
he
of the
was
head, because
pretty-
I think that's absolutely abhorrent.
He
Does that.
was
He hit Hamflett on the back of the head.
What?
like maybe arguably too hard. Like almost.
I bet he regrets it.
Well, almost he sat down. I felt a certain sense of regret.
Did he swear? Because my read on that Starks thing, it was maybe a little bit too quick.
it was bluer than usual.
Okay.
If anything.
Well, I just want to show you where my allegiances lie. Tony D right here. Mark Lee Willis got us this one a while back, and then a lovely fan whose name I've completely forgotten, I do apologise, gave us this to add to the collection.
Double Tony.
Double Tony right here.
It's funny how there's two Tonys but only one Starks. That's funny.
Where are you up to? What I missed?
We didn't get a chance
We
to
didn't
move on.
get
That
a
was
chance.
a bit shell-shocked, actually. That was...
I just hadn't had a chance to speak to Hamflett about the actual potential of the new Heyman group.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it?
So I was like
the best
saying
thing
that
in wrestling.
Yeah, because I was saying that there's
honestly.
certain losers who keep going on and on, like desperate for it to be like the best thing of all time. It's like, you know, just wait for it to be good.
Well, it was on the best Raw after WrestleMania of all time, so ipso facto, that would make sense, yeah.
The Rush.
Senator. Quite the lineup there, isn't it?
Yeah, on the back we've got the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, the Sandman,
Legend.
Finn Balor, Ricochet.
Legend. Oh, that's a shame. That's ruined it, hasn't it?
Tony
You got all these
D'Angelo.
talents and then Ricochet making up the numbers.
What was your favourite Sandman moment in ECW?
When he poured beer down Hamflett's throat.
no, in
probably.
ECW, what it was.
When he was like, smashing the camera.
Yeah, the entrances. What was your
Too
specific
many
favourite?
to choose from. Anyway,
No, but
back to...
choose the best
I'll
one.
have a
though.
think. I'll think about it and get back to you. Back to NXT.
Best Sandman match?
Take your pick.
No, I'm asking you to pick yours.
Dreamer, Taz, Sabu, all up there for me.
All right.
For you?
You what?
What's yours?
I don't really have many, to be
I
honest.
mean, I don't
as
have
a
many,
Sandman.
but there's legends. Legend of the... What's yours?
Probably the Barely Legal main event.
Barely Legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Didn't
going to
have
say.
great
Barely
matches.
Legal main event.
I didn't like the Dreamer one that led to the...
Barely Legal main event
Yeah.
obviously was against...
It was against
Raven.
Well,
No,
that's-
I was really to that. It was
yeah.
with that.
Terry Taylor. Tatanka. Terry Funk.
Yeah, that's right. And
Sabu.
No.
Jay the Snake.
No.
Stunning Steve Austin. Steve Blackman.
Steve
O.
Stevie.
Stevie Richards.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
right.
Yeah.
That's my favourite.
What was your other favourite match from Belly Legal?
Well, I think barely legal. I'll be honest. I don't think about ECW shows. So
That's what they call it. That. Yeah.
anything involving Taz, to be honest.
So what was his big match?
His big match?
Well,
Massive.
you don't need to tell you.
One of the biggest,
Match of the
most
century,
well
they built that,
promoted. Yeah, match of the century, the most
Promoted.
well promoted match in ECW history. So
Sabu.
you must know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
What was the promotion that they collaborated with for the 6-man?
Wasn't Ring of Honor.
Nah, it didn't exist. It was about
It
ref.
obviously didn't exist.
5 years early.
Wasn't one of my new favourite promotions, AAA, actually. It was really doing some good stuff at the moment.
They were, of course, working with who back in 1997?
Who's this?
Triple
Triple
A.
A.
We're getting off.
Famously.
Famously.
Yeah.
Famously, obviously, like CMLL.
No,
is another,
Quite the opposite,
is
really.
it's another promotion. I was saying like that would be
Yeah.
jealous of this relationship.
One
they
might
had
say
with
that history,
with
those
WCW.
those who are
there's another
those who
promotion that
don't
was
learn
jealous.
from history are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah. I don't need to. I wasn't paying attention in history class.
So like, I've just given you a big clue. Bro.
WWF.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I knew that obviously. Saying how white
ECW at the
WCW
time
is.
had a little working relationship with.
ECW and not 5-star wrestling, was it?
No.
No,
It's a 5-star
I'll give
match.
you a clue. Located in Japan.
New Japan.
No, that was WCW.
AJPW.
No.
No, obviously not. I'm just saying about the other promotions that would have wished, if anything, to have worked with those promotions. Any other Japanese promotions? Stardom?
Yes.
Not working with Stardom
No,
back then.
not
obviously.
yet around.
Shimmer.
No, that's American.
Can't think of anyone else. You want to say it? Or should we say it at the same time?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Michinoku
Michinoku Pro, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
Jinx.
right. Back to NXT. And Lola Vice is backstage. I know where all of these podcasts. She tells Steph whether she faces Julia or Jordan, she'll be waiting for afterwards. But if anyone can beat him, you can do it, sort of thing. And Julia says, I've not forgotten what you did to Stephanie, and I'll see you at NXT Battleground. You're grounded. Anything you want to say about this?
What? No, I can't remember what you just said.
Then we got the 25-man battle royal to determine who's going to face Obafemi, obviously at NXT Battleground. You grounded! Battlegrounded, but you're not a winner. No. Not in
Nice, yeah.
Select few got an entrance in this. Trick got a big entrance, obviously. Ethan Page got one. Javon sort of got like a... We're coming back from the break, and Javon, let me tell you, he's been doing this amazing entrance during the break. And then lights go out, and we hear guitar strum. Elias is back, sort of. It's Elijah from TNA.
Was there not a missed opportunity here to have a bit of fun?
Oh, there's lots.
So, like, there's a third brother. Like, they could have... Elijah, he looks like...
Wasn't there going to be a third one in the original storyline?
Do you remember the one time Triple H had anything to do with that story, and then it was done? There was the photoshopped image of Ezekiel in bed surrounded by all the other brothers.
Yeah.
And Kevin Owens was, are you joking me? And then, like, Triple H, I don't do this ha-ha and then we heard nothing of it ever again.
But yeah, it was Elijah from TNA.
I don't do this ha-ha You see the DX reunions?
I mean, you signed him, developed him, and pushed him in NXT for years.
Yeah.
I was on you that one, Paul.
More into Holly Race. What's that? You don't know who the that is? Here's the bloodline. Yeah.
Tommaso, wear this.
With honor, sir.
There's welcome home chants.
It would be my honor.
And everyone joins in right up until he says the name part with, who wants to walk with Elijah? Yeah. So the full lineup for this 25-man Battle Royal was Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes of Swipe Right, Timothy Thatcher, Sean Legacy, Tavian Heights, Ethan Page, Miles Bourne, Lexis King, Sean Spears, the wild card, Nick Vance, Brooks Jensen, Adonis Lee, Ashanti the Adonis, Elijah Wesley, Tyreek Igwe, Tyson DuPont, Chris Island, Charlie Dempsey, Yoshiki Inamura, Shiloh Hill, Zach Wentz, who you may remember referenced earlier. Hey, brother, what the f*** you doing? Has history with Wesley.
Yeah.
Josh Briggs, Ridge Holland. Got real scared at one point that they were going to go in a certain direction with this.
Yep.
And I thought, please no, anyone but that.
Turned out fine.
Yeah. So Chris Island gets eliminated first by Alexis King, but he's soon out there as well. Inamura knocks Baylor out. That was a shame. Adonis cleans house. Williams, though, stops himself from being eliminated and chucks out Ashanti as we go to a break. When we come back, we see Timothy Thatcher getting tossed out by Ethan Page. Nico Vance, the wild card, sacrifices himself for Sean Spears. Williams kicks Hill out, but he also goes over the top rope, hangs on though at the bottom rope. Brooks Jensen charged, I think it was Tyson DuPont, was on the ring apron, and Brooks Jensen just eliminated himself whilst eliminating him. Bold strategy, gun.
I looked at that and laughed and laughed and laughed. So what the hell was that?
I didn't know what it was. Like, I got it when like Mick Foley did it because he was I'm so take you out and take me out as well. This one I was like, Tyson DuPont, what were you?
Brains in his balls as usual.
What?
Yeah, that was good stuff. That was good stuff.
Inamura accidentally knocked Briggs out. And
That was weird as well.
Yeah.
It made it look like he did it on purpose.
looked shoot devastated though. But we get a tease of MSK, which is, if you're not sure about this, Wesley and Zach Wentz, who've got a bit of history actually that was referenced earlier on in the show. Zach Wentz gets chucked out of there. I think we go to a break there, come back.
That was just politically weird, wasn't it? Zach Wentz is married to Gigi Dolan.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Weird. That's like, I know that's the TNA thing now, and anyone that works. That's weird too, the more I think about it, because a bunch of these people could end up in TNA, like Elijah, like Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
And now
they're half the bloody TNA rosters, WWE cuts.
Yeah, in you come.
Donna.
Straight back in for NXT or whatever.
Dana
Rook.
Dana, the rest.
Yeah.
Also, like, we've got a lot of history, which is why Wesley continues to just completely dominate.
Yeah.
He's the one who chucks out Zach Wentz.
Yeah, of course he does.
Ridge Holland's still in there. He's trading forearms even with
What are 4Ms?
with Inamura.
Trading 4Ms.
Williams gets rid of both of them, though. Joe Hendry comes out, gets his entrance. That distracts Trick Williams and allows Elijah to chuck Trick Williams out of there. And Hendry and Trick Williams brawl out of there. Spears throws out Elijah. Sean Legacy and Javon Evans have a nice back and forth.
It was very nice.
Evans is just awesome. By the way, I noticed the, what's it called? Dream blunt rotation when they were in the locker room, Wesley and the Dan. It was like, Wesley, Tyson upon Tariq way there. Here, like, the Dream. Tony D, Javon Evans, Andre Chase. 1, 2, 3 in the locker room. What a sandwich to be a part of, Javon Evans. You lucky bastard, you.
That's the real learning tree.
Yeah. There's a cutter. And Paige Lowbridge's legacy to get rid of him out of there, which leaves us with Javon Evans, Miles Bourne, Ethan Page, and Sean Spears. Bourne starts hitting people with power slams. Spears, though, super kicks Bourne after Page has kicked him in the head. But he ends up on the apron with Javon Evans. Spears goes back inside, and Evans springboards back in to take out Spears and Page. There's a springboard cutter to Bourne. But as he goes for another double cutter on Page and Spears, they catch him and chuck him out of there. I thought, what are we doing here? They try and form an alliance that lasts 2 seconds. Yeah. Immediately, one tries to throw the other one out, and it immediately gets reversed. Spears gets thrown over the top, and Bourne comes in. Miles Bourne out of nowhere to take out both Ethan Page and Sean Spears, eliminate them, shock the world, and punch his ticket to stand and deliver a yo-yo. The Ren QCC come out and celebrate. Tavian Heights rushes in there, so proud of his mate. Ren Sinclair can't believe it, and Charlie Dempsey's just like,
yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Same.
It made me think about how when you watch your first ever Battle Royal, it's amazing.
Yeah.
There's all the wrestlers at the same time, and then it gets down to the nitty-gritty, and you've been kind of like without realising it back then when you're younger, you've sort of been worked into sort of rooting for a couple of people, and there's a heel advantage, wouldn't you believe it? And then the babyface prevails from a 2-on-1 situation, or whatever, however it plays out. That's because I watched Battle Royals in the early 90s that were tailored to actually give you a nice feeling. If you watch Battle Royals, say you were getting it wrestling, I don't know, the 2010s.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really sad again. Like, can't wait for
Where's the stars, mommy?
At least they'll overcome this. They've lost.
Can't wait for the next segment where that sort of thing will happen again and again and again. But yeah, that's how, this had a lot of that about it. There was a bunch of people who, like, I don't mind admitting, like some of the ones I've not seen wrestle that much or didn't know that well, getting given their moment or whatever. Some heels who I did not want to win because I did not want to see the Obafemi match. And I just thought, I can't be arsed with them. So I hope they get eliminated. And then they did. And then so I was kind of rooting for Javon Evans, but I took a keen interest in Sean Legacy, for example. And then when you get down to the Final Four, it's like it can't be Miles Bourne, but then your wrestling brain goes, oh, maybe it's going to be Miles Bourne. And then you start thinking about the match, and then it actually happens. I don't know, this just pressed all the right buttons a Battle Royal is supposed to press. And it was a nice viewing experience as a result.
I honestly had loads of fun with this, and I thought some of it was incredibly well worked and well thought out. Like the little sequences where the crafty veterans would like be low bridging, knowing someone was about to come over, quite clever. The Timothy Thatcher just being a complete non-entity made me laugh. It's like, why have you gone to the Fed twice? Just to get treated like this. Like you had this reputation as one of the last holdouts, this proper wrestler, and now the few people who love you and people who like Thatcher love him, they're just going to think less of you. And no offense, mate, there's not a single WWE fan who's going to think, he's my guy. Yeah, it's Timothy Thatcher, mate. You're a grapple extraordinaire. Couldn't think less of you or be less entertained by you. So I just find that a very funny marriage. So that was funny watching him get bounced before the advert.
Should have worn our Still Hate Thatcher t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, this Javon Evans.
Oh my God.
I was watching this, just petrified that he was going to eliminate himself and get thrown out. I'm watching this, thinking ahead to, I had two thoughts. One, debut this dude in the Royal Rumble.
This was his audition for it, wasn't it?
Debut this
Great
dude
shout.
in the first ever main roster appearance in the Royal Rumble. Go as Javon Evans from NXT and have him do this, and he'll just completely get over it. He'll get gift all over the place. Like, he'll draw gasps and shocks from a stadium audience that typically does not care about these Rumbles. He could elevate the action, the actual action in these matches tenfold. My second thought was, calm down. If you do that in a Rumble, you go wrong. You are doing suspense too well, far too well. And I will say this. They can't be dumb. They must realize that Sean Spears and Ethan Page are solid guys who exist to bring on other guys who are uninspiring as all hell, really generic. Here's the word they are. They're boring. They are fundamentally very boring professional wrestlers. There's a bit of hubbub last year about why are they going with these two when he could just push Javon Evans now. I had that, piss off. Genuinely, I don't even care that much about NXT as you can probably imagine. But when they conspired to eliminate Javon, I'm like, piss off.
I thought it was Sean Spears all the way.
You cannot be going with one of these two. You cannot. Oh, you're not.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole misdirect for, of all people, Miles Bourne to get that. We said yesterday it's about time they make a new person because Trick Williams ain't it. It's sad, but it's not happening for him. Javon Evans, maybe, but he's been in that mix a long time. You don't want to sort of breed resentment towards him. Go for an out of nowhere pick. Why the hell not? You've got the best women's match of the year potentially at Battleground. Go with the bull from the blue, and they bloody did it, and it got over. And this guy's got something, Miles Bourne, as well. I can't say enough words about how good this was as a battle royal. The best one, AEW Casino Gauntlets aside, the best trad rumble that sticks in my head since 2023 Double or Nothing. I'm struggling to think of a better trad rumble than that. This is the best one I've seen quite literally in years, I think.
Javon Evans, just on him, because first time I've had to say it.
He was unbelievable in this match.
Like, so it must be the first time I've seen him in real life. Yeah, the Stand and Deliver main event, the bouncing gimmick. He's like a real life guy. You have to, like, it's one of them, once he's like main roster guy, it's like he's going to be somebody that people buy a ticket to watch because you see it on television and you can scarcely believe it. And then it's TV wrestling. You sort of get used to it.
Yeah.
Take it for granted a bit. He does freak of nature stuff and you're watching it in real life and it's cartoon. What? Like the bouncing off the shoulders stuff in particular. They've got millions in their hands with.
When you're a kid and someone's like, wrestling's not real, it's just like a big bouncy ring. It's like, it does have a spring. It's not the
When I was a kid, it was concrete. Pretty much, and it looked like a real hurt by it.
It's just a trampoline, isn't it?
But like that, he makes it look like, oh yeah, no, it is.
Should be, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's part of these new canvases, like that. Obviously the rings, they're still really hard, but they have like visually, it's almost like a carpet effect, isn't it? They have tried to make it look a little bit kinder than the old, like brutal.
You go back now and watch any match from whenever in those rings, it's like
It's like that. Now it moves.
It's like it's just any kind of like nostalgia you get. Because wrestling's always so, it's really good this, but then it's also horrific and bleak. You watch people take these bumps and you think, that's why all those things happened.
Yep.
Genuinely so happy for Miles Bourne though.
Yeah.
No, same. I
Hell of a
thought unbelievable match this for what it was. Really unbelievable. Eventually, the second half. But that's the case with every battle royal ever, really.
We're backstage with Jordan Grace, who's obviously number one contenders match later. And Grace talks about fighting out the arena last week with Julia. They're going to stay in the ring tonight, though. And she's going to win. She's got the power advantage over everyone. Izzy Dane walks in, because she basically says, I'm the biggest. And Izzy Dane walks in and is like, you might be the strongest, but you're not the biggest. And then a giant walked in. And I was like, who the hell's that? Oh, it's Lash Legend, who seems, in character, unfazed by losing half of her mates from the wonderful metaphor. She looked gigantic here. She said she was top of the list in all those categories. And Grace says, I'll see both of you after I've won tonight and won the title at Battleground.
The enforced sharp pivot with the Lash Legend character as a result of like the real life releases was a bit jarring, wasn't it? Like Lash Legend has gotten over as there's a bit of warmth to a babyface persona, and that had to get dropped a bit this week.
Yeah.
You kind of couldn't move on from like she'd have to be a character in mourning if she was going to stay as an earnest babyface now. So but the way they produced this, the height difference,
was
ridiculous. It was great.
Then we got Jada Parker versus Carmen Petrovic. Petrovic early on hit sort of like a basement rough rider. Sent her outside for a dive, but got caught with a spinning elbow to the face. Jada Parker hits that teardrop of hers, but Petrovic fights back. Hits a running kick to the face for 2, but misses the spinning kick, and Parker hits the hypnotique for the 1-2-3. Post-match, she continues beating down Carmen Petrovic. Goes to go for another hip attack, and Thea Hale runs down to make the save and take the bullet for Carmen Petrovic. Nailed, knocked to the outside from the apron, and KO'd by heel Jada Parker.
None of these got much happening yet, but I suppose let it play out. Like they're trying to build some stuff and tell some stories with this women's undercard, but now, the match I'm not going for it really. I'm not so sure about where you go with Jada Parker from here, because like big defeats when it counts. Moving about, I don't know.
I suppose with Sol Ruka as champion, you need heel to go after her.
Yeah, that's true.
Senator!
What?
You could line her up for that,
yeah,
but it's probably again for just another loss. No?
I think they're going to put a title on Jada Parker sooner rather than later, because the fans, I know she's a heel now, but fans like Jada Parker.
I like Jada Parker, but I'm not convinced that they feel like they can go with it. Just
I think North American titles
maybe.
Safe bet.
Maybe.
Better than a world title match at the end of the day.
Yeah. Just had that pop at least.
Senator!
This was less strewn with errors than some of the recent matches I've seen with Jada Parker, I'll say that, but it was also devoid of good.
Yeah. What was the chant? What was
interesting?
The chant that Stan delivered for Jada Parker? Was it just called a Miss Parker?
Miss Parker,
yeah. Ava... Thank you. You need your help with this. Ava, Jessica Surname, she's Rock's daughter, general manager of NXT. She's talking to Joe Hendry, and she basically says, Joe, the situation between you and Trick Williams has to end.
Joe, the situation with you and Trick Williams must end.
Joe Hendry says, I'm not backing down. And Ava says, well, at Battleground, it's you versus Trick Williams.
Well, at Battleground, it's you versus Trick Williams.
With your title on the line.
With your title on the line.
The TNA World title.
And defended.
And they're going to do a contract signing next week to look forward to.
Don't rub your hands in a contract signing, bro. Oh, come on. What are we doing here now?
But Ava's going to be out there, so you can put your working boots on.
Yeah, okay.
There?
They put the TNA title on Trick Williams.
I
think they might.
I think they might.
But then, what would Joe do in TNA in a few months? What do you mean?
He's going to love believing it.
Lose a least TNA match and you burn yourself. Lay down.
That's such a Russo WCW bit, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Was it NWA who did a loser stays in NWA?
What's it?
It was like Thunder Rosa versus someone. It was like the losers.
now you say loser stays.
It was something.
And it's like one of the things where we all
It
chuckle at
wasn't
the
like that. Wasn't
graphic.
like the name of the stip, but like
Yeah.
the stipulation was like you got to stick around. Sadly for you, it was something like that.
I found a website here, Sidge. It's called WhatCulture.com.
All right,
There's a
okay.
list called 10 totally backwards wrestling match stipulations. Oh, look, there's NWA Power 2021. Camille accused fellow wrestler Thunder Rosa of using the NWA for her own ends, so they had a loser stays in town match. Right, well...
If you lose, you've got to stick around this hole.
You dumb or stupid?
Hey, stupid or are you dumb?
Well, as that is 3.
Billy Corgan wrote Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Billy Corgan wrote Mayonnaise. You ever heard Mayonnaise? It's one of the best songs ever written. How is he? What's his brain turned into?
Very quickly, what was the result of that match?
Camille won. No, Camille lost.
I'm going to go with double count out.
Ooh, close. It was time limit draw. So
Both got to stay. Suck it up.
right. That is number 3 on the 10 totally backwards wrestling match stipulations list. I mean,
Reverse battle royal.
that's got to be.
That's got to be number 1. It's literally.
Hang on, let's do this.
Dude.
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
What's number 2 and 1 on 10 totally backwards wrestling match stipulations list?
So the fight for the right reverse battle royal has to be
Has to
way
be number
up there.
1.
But I would argue...
Not that. Can I just lift the old lid on the what culture thing? If we do, like, it's not necessarily a ranking every time.
No. It's just 10 things.
And I think pulling back the curtain slightly more, if you put something like that, because by the way, it's neither the reverse battle royal is not 2 or 3, 2 or 1 on this list. There is a somewhat of, and I'm wired exactly this way. If someone says, who's the best Premier League
Sometimes
striker?
they're ranked.
Yeah, who's the best Premier League strikers of all time? And you go,
Alan Shearer.
in at number 20, Thierry Henry, you go, right, well, who have you put ahead of them? So there's the intrigue.
That's the incentive to click. Yeah.
It's not King of the Mountain, is it, for hanging the belt?
Hang on. There's a button. There's a button for this.
No, dear, that's wrong.
I like King of the Mountain, but people...
Who was the best at that, would you say, that match?
The man himself, Jeff Jarrett. Won the first 3, booked them himself.
And then Samoa Joe hands
Hands it to Kurt Angle. You hang it up.
Do you want the
What's
promotions?
the actual title again?
10 totally backwards wrestling match stipulations.
Kennel from Hell.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Something like individual stipulation for one wrestler. Like the Dolph Ziggler DQ situation.
No, not quite, no.
Okay.
An infamous couple of matches, I should say.
Blindfold match.
No, dear, that's wrong.
They're
Again,
2 very specific matches. So it's not just like a generic match type.
Ambrose Asylum.
Oh, great shout that, but
No, dear, that's wrong.
stipulations.
I don't think it's necessarily backward, i.e.,
the
like the
reverse
loser stays in
default,
town is probably the most spot on for this, but it is like, sorry, you're doing what in a match?
Tuesday Cage.
We've got Chamber of Horrors.
Okay, that's not the same
But
thing,
that's-
but yeah.
Viagra on a pole.
No, dear, that's
That
wrong.
was number 1, by the way, Chamber of Horrors.
Judy Bagwell on a forklift.
Oh.
King of the Road.
Oh, is that? Yeah, it's not
Going
that
through
one.
the uncensored library.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Judy Bagwell on a forklift is 4th.
Funny.
It's funny, isn't it?
Reverse Battle Royal is 5th.
Okay.
That was another one of the reasons that got me back into wrestling was Brian Alvarez ranting about not only the match, but the subsequent, that's not how you win. That should get you a ranking for
Yeah.
Last Rights match, number 6, by the way.
Sting and Vampiro. That's right.
It was Abyss.
Abyss.
Sting and
sorry.
Abyss.
Viagra on a pole's number
Human
7.
torch was Sting
Yeah,
and Vampiro.
yeah.
Crybaby match. Funny, isn't it?
What's
Number
wrong
8.
with that?
Match is good. The stipulation's weird.
King of the Road, number 9.
Raiders powdering kids' ass.
Yeah.
What are you doing that for? Rage in the Cage, better on your house. It's just dropped. I promoted it because it happened over WrestleMania weekend. I missed it happening, but it's out there.
And the Monster Truck Sumo match was number 10.
The trucks were joined together.
Yep.
And then Hogan pushed Big Joe to his death. Only for him
came
to
back.
return in the main event. Favorite trivia ever. It was Cobo Hall. There was a little lake, a moat. Just for artsy sake, surround the building. They wanted Giant to come back with a fish sticking out of his singlet like he fought in a real lake.
I also like the bit where you see the commentators trying to sell it and
It's a
go,
commentator.
it's an average
Betrayer.
person who's betrayed
Yeah.
but they're like trying to sell it, like, which side did he fall off? And it's like, well, one side's concrete, one side's a lake. What do you expect? And you see the bloke go, trying to sell it. Come on.
Oh, it's so Hogan pilled from that era as well because he wants all of it. He's got to be the good guy. Nobody likes him anymore. But like, I'm ready to kill a guy with a monster truck and a sumo fight on a roof. And then the second he pushes him to his death, he's like, "Oh no! It's like, how did you think that was going to go, Hulk?" God,
Didn't make it. It's my favorite South Park gags ever. That.
Do you want to? It's a final match we still haven't got. It's WWE. Very famous match stipulation.
So not Cal from Hell.
No.
The evening gown with Briscoe and Patterson.
No, dear, that's wrong.
We forget anything that's like pissy pooey, like any sort of terrible bodily function stipulation.
No, I mean it's a kind of a regular match stipulation. It was just really what was on the line.
Lover or leaver? No,
dear, that's wrong.
Custody of Dominic Mysterio.
Bingo! Because that's how things work out. Is that your? It is now. Wasn't it?
Still, the AJ Clare Lynch one is worse than TNA. Like,
AJ!
I had nothing to do with it.
Secret banter, yeah.
I had nothing to do with it, and the DNA proves it. But if I lose the match, I will accept parental responsibility.
Get another.
That's just the way I was done raised.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, it has to go in between these.
That's the freaking business. I will look after that son. I will provide for him. Such as this. I bought the Jaguar. Little baby.
I bought the baby. Jaguar, baby.
It's going to be the most freaking luckiest kid in the world.
I'll support the mother
in the flat world.
I will support the mother who's an aspiring actress, but please do not look into that. She's from the across the road. What's Popeye got to say about all
Literally
this?
straight out the door. Oliver, are you busy? I'm on lunch, got 10 minutes, right. I need you to film 6 weeks of TV.
Actually, the book, AJ Styles versus Popeye.
It's the facial expression.
Hey, Sailor Man, what happens when your boat gets to the end?
Hey, so you know that sea all the time. Why is it blue? Take it out, water's clear. Why is it blue when I look in the sea?
Ask questions.
Yeah. Spinach, interesting. I use chicken and broccoli.
Spinach on a ball match. It was a spotlight on OTM.
Olive oil. Fancy French crap, if you ask me.
You fried chicken with that?
You fried chicken with that oil.
It was a spotlight on OTM. They were coming back. And then Wesley was talking about every man
Didn't know
having
they left. What was the last bit?
Wesley talking about every man having a prize.
Wrestlers think they're so clever, don't they? You're all thick.
Get him, boss.
Then, another sad moment from this show. Inamura is disappointed with what happened in the Battle Royal. He apologised to Josh Briggs. And he's talked to Ava. She hasn't got to say anything. Rock Daughter, general manager of NXT. And he's unfortunately going back to Japan. Everyone's gutted about this. Briggs doesn't want him to go. Inamura, heartbreakingly says, I wish I'd been a better partner. And gives Briggs the vest back.
I'll give you love.
Says goodbye, my friends.
Give you vest.
But there is a silver lining to all this. Because who shows up as Inamura exit stage left? Brooks Jensen's back, baby. And he's with the culling. But he's
Damn it, Jensen!
Who you getting mixed up with now?
He talks about being in this same position before. Briggs always seems to think it's the partner. Maybe you're the problem. So you're telling me there's a chance?
He's got a point. Like Briggs was like, get the hell out. I need to be a singles guy. Want to tag up?
Tag up. Tag up. That's pop me that.
And at the end of the day, Fatal Influence, there are all bit problems there as well.
Indeed.
2/3 of the jigsaw. My
My
favourite kind of jigsaw, 3-piece jigsaw.
3 legs, 1 stool. So.
We'll keep an eye on this one.
Yes, we'll monitor the situation closely.
I also really like what came next. Not just the Chase U bit, which we'll get to.
Was Jensen always dressed like Timothy Thatcher? I thought he was Thatcher at one point in that Battle Royal.
I don't know. It's just.
I realised I've been entertained by one of you.
Yeah.
Remember when Thatcher worked Danielson? Like it was Danielson's wish list booking, which was good and not so good in AEW. And it was fine. And everyone overrated it because they liked Timothy Thatcher.
You called it in advance as well. You said this is exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that good.
It's all dead now. It's all dead. But I didn't mind Thatcher as the Broserweights replacement for Pete Dunne and where that went.
That was fun for a while.
Like,
you could all see where it was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, the successful Renq UCC celebrating backstage. Miles Bourne, ecstatic, obviously. Charlie Dempsey just goes, so I'll be needing you guys to get me ready for this title match at Battleground. Miles Bourne's like, I won the Battle Royal, so it'd be me. He's like, nah. Now, come on. It's the No Quarter Catch group. It's my group, so you did that for me. And I need to stretch that meathead Q Obafemi who walks in.
Right, okay, I need to talk about this. Was this just completely botched beyond belief? They did the thing where before you meant to, they did the sound as it was like, oh, as if you could see Obafemi creeping into shot. You just nowhere to be found. And you heard the noise of like, you shouldn't be talking, like, you know what I mean?
which again asks you to believe that the room is bigger than we can see.
Yes,
but then
yes,
wrestlers
yes,
are off
yes.
screen for a second and
Because
then
they've
they're
got
gone.
tunnel vision.
Unless it was the crowd reacting to, you shouldn't say that about Obafemi.
Maybe.
And if as soon as he hears about this, he's going to kill you. But then he just popped up anyway, like you say.
How can you miss him?
And
Dude's like 7 foot tall.
he says he's impressed. And he's looking forward to facing Miles Bourne. Charlie Dempsey again tries to shoot his shot. You'll be facing me. And Miles Bourne says, no, I'm taking the match. But you know what? Maybe next week you show me how it's done against Obafemi. And Dempsey tries to... No. No, what were you saying? Stretching the meathead, right? And maybe if you beat Oba, we'll make it a triple threat at Battleground. Oba says, I'm done with triple threats. And
Keep it.
see you next week.
Are you doing triple threats?
I'm always going to hold the candle for them after what I saw across WrestleMania weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Bourne says, damn, he's pissed about Obafemi. And Dempsey's like, selective hearing from you, Miles Bourne. I still feel a little bit awkward when they sort of... I assume, obviously, it's all been okay by Miles Bourne. They're laughing and joking about, like, well, you can't hear certain things. Yeah. I don't know. But I really like
With the
Miles.
Fed, you can never tell.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually felt better about it this week because of how they were able to just basically make a goon heel out of Charlie Dempsey.
Yeah.
That's the way to deploy that, I think. And, like, Miles Bourne properly presented for one night at least as this, like, it gets to be a top babyface for a minute.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, I don't mind Miles Bourne and Obafemi.
Like Obafemi killing Charlie Dempsey next week.
It's funny that they kind of criticizing themselves through the Obafemi character saying I don't like triple threats, like highlighting that it's been this crutch. But the dirty little secret is that Obafemi's best used in triple threats.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a weird thing. So like Charlie Dempsey might get into this for that purpose.
Yeah.
And I don't want another bloody triple. Oh, I suppose I'll have to have one. And then the
I
match
bloody have to now.
inherently better. It's better as a result.
Right, time to head to Chase U.
Oh! Teachable moment!
Back.
It's not necessarily better than ever.
Looks better than ever.
Oh, it does, yeah, because Kayla and Uriah suggest a change of look for Mr. Chase. But he says people like the polo, and he's not wrong. But they do a very funny skit where he goes into a locker room and changes, and they come out, no, I don't like this. And he comes out in an awesome tracksuit, and it fit.
Yeah.
Didn't he just come out in 2 good outfits? That
Yeah, the first one was fine as well.
The first, like, don't you do like, oh my God, the guy looks like an asshole. Second one, are you kidding me, Andre? Third one, just right.
Yeah,
they can't do anything.
The second one was just right.
They can't do anything.
Goldilocks and the 2 bears.
Yeah, rule of comedy. Timing, the rule of 2.
2 what? I'm fine.
In fact, if I just leave this first one to cool down slightly. At main event time, it was...
Oh my God.
Yes, Jordan Grace versus Julia.
Wow.
Now, was this because they dropped Julia on her head with a gut-wrench faceplant about 2 minutes in?
In a way, that seemed to awaken something in both of them. So, yeah, short answer, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're great, obviously. They do like a forearm exchange. Then you get the...
Yeah, this is the match you would have wanted it to be, I think.
Yeah.
And sometimes those don't quite deliver, especially in like a TV setting. But
There's nothing worse, nothing in pro wrestling than fake intensity. So when you get the real thing, whether you want to or not, like whether someone's just been like, sort of, all right, okay, we're doing this, and are we? Well, I'm going to kick your ass back. This is electrifying. This.
Like wrestlers, like they've been made to like their eyes water for a second. Like, right then. Oh, we're doing is it?
Yeah, Julia came back and hit a neck breaker onto the floor to take us to a break. When we returned from the break, Grace hit a spine buster for 2. Julia pulled her into a guillotine, but Grace reversed that into an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. She also hit a Michinoku driver to get 2 and a delayed superplex into a jackhammer for a great 2 count. Julia comes back, though, spiking Jordynne Grace with a DDT. Pump handle into a Northern Lights driver. Gets another great near fall. They counter each other several times. There's an overhead suplex by Grace, but Julia fires up. In the end, though, Jordynne Grace hits her with back fists and a juggernaut driver to get the 1-2-3 and punch her ticket to NXT Battleground. Face off with Stephanie Vaquer to close the show.
Yeah, loved it. This is why like Tony Khan always books good matches and hopes that they can be great, because what this did was effectively sell both wrestlers in the context of this match.
Best Julia outing ever. Well, in the Fed.
Yeah, so I can't speak
Best
to
version of this character, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't speak to loads of what Julia's done outside of WWE, but there's always been that sense that there's something better underneath what she's been doing so far. And here it was, and that was great. Jordynne Grace has had these flashes of brilliance in most of her performances, but as a singles match, this is the one for her too, which again, perfect sales pitch for the Stephanie Vaquer match. This idea that NXT has been talking this good game about this women's division and then has signed a good game to match the good game it's been talking, and now it really is. You know, they've kind of made real all the bluster.
They've developed some amazing female talent, I agree.
While Julia is
such an asshole.
Now going back to Raw.
Developed.
That diamond in the rough Julia for a few months in NXT. Look at what she can do.
Seasoning, yeah. It's got us to this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's sold Julia's impending, like, permanent move to Raw, the Stephanie Vaquer match, and kind of reminded you a little bit of both. Actually, reminded you what both of them are capable of and what you get excited about when these names are on the bill. Like yeah, super stiff and super hard hitting, but like
all Vaquer Grace can look like.
Well, this is it, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
All the connective tissue was like levels above like anything else that you're getting out of this division, and then you think, well, Stephanie Vaquer is as well. So how good's that going to be? Love this.
This was genuinely tremendous. New rule. Drop someone on the neck and or head within the first 2 minutes of a match. Because one of the big wrestling principles is, and it goes for a lot of things as well, but wrestlers love this, so they did in the days of yore. If you tell the public the truth first, they'll be then more inclined to believe a lie afterwards. Like the fact that that bump was horrific. Corey Graves was magnificent at going,
they sounded a bit scared on commentary, didn't they?
Because he's had a really bad history with neck issues, was very much appalled, frightened. So the fact that something pretty transgressive, not necessarily planned, has happened, like informed literally everything else in this match with this sort of like slippery, transgressive, dangerous drama. I'm not necessarily earnestly campaigning for that, but at the same time, maybe do it. No, it's just electrifying. Electrifying.
Yeah, loved it.
Really, really excited for NXT Battleground now. What a weekend that's going to be.
That's, what else did we say there was?
Saturday night's main event and Double or Nothing.
Saturday main event as well.
And it's a 3-day weekend because of the bank holiday.
There you go.
So
just a lot to do on the Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on NXT in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can continue the conversation with us on X at WhatCulture WWE, where you can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, as I said. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts. The Dynamite preview is available right now. But for now, this has been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamflett, to Sidgwick, apparently to Stacks. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.